Hey folks, this video brought to you by Moxie Soda. Just kidding. I wish that I had a Moxie sponsorship. I would rep that so hard. But this video is actually brought to you by Arizona RX Energy. Nah, again, I'm just kidding. I do love this stuff though. But I would totally... Arizona, Moxie, get a hold of me. Sponsor my channel. Rep you all the time. But seriously, folks, I'm on my way to Johnson, Vermont to help a subscriber compression test his Subaru engine, hence probably the title of this video. And we're going to see how bad it is. He says it's been blowing blue smoke, and so I'm going to check that out. He has another car with a better motor in it. We'll probably compression test both if we can. And the idea is, if the engine's bad, I'm going to come back and help him swap the engine. They're like identical cars, identical engines. It should be easy, famous last words. But that's the plan. So I'm on my way there, and I'm going to pop out the car with a camera. He said it's fine, and y'all will meet him at the same time I do. So thanks, hope you enjoy. I'm in Johnson, Vermont. I'm almost at the guy's house. I just went past his driveway and I found this thing. Pretty sick little Nissan, like wide-bodied front end. I guess it's his drift car. You can see manual trans and a hydro e-brake cutoff for the electricity. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But that's pretty sweet. And they told me to show the sign too. That's Johnson Paint Body Danger House Customs. Pretty sick. So this must be some kind of old Ford? Ford something or other. Ford F series something, or looks like it's maybe a bigger truck, but yeah, and you said
these came with him from Cali when he was here.
Came from California, an Envoy. Yeah, so his neighbor here was just showing me Danger House Customs cars that are back here, and apparently this is his friends, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, and so knobbly tires on this old, I'm not sure if it's a Loyal or a GL or what it is, but check this out under here. It's got this whole SJR lift kit. He was saying they're pretty famous for them. Then you check this out too, it's a turbo. It's just got a crossover manifold that just goes right into the right bank and then up into the turbo. You can see the whole four-wheel drive system under there. Look at those tiny little axles back there. Stock Subaru stuff. This thing's pretty sweet, skid pan. And yeah, it says it's four-wheel drive turbo. I didn't realize they made this model in turbo. I knew they did with the early Legacies, but it is a GL. Yep, okay. So that's pretty sick, and you can see the drop kit for the rear differential there. Also SJR, I'm sure. So this place is pretty awesome. Well, I appreciate you showing me around, man. Just made it because I see two Subarus, and that's what he said was going on. How's it going? Are you Kane?
Yeah.
So this is Kane, and nice to meet you. This is my first time meeting him, so like I said, we're going to be compression testing one or both of these and seeing what's up with them. So tell me a little about these beasts.
They're leaking oil pretty well.
Classic.
And that one's just rusting away and is currently parts.
So this is the one you're driving daily, right?
Yeah.
But you said it smokes like crazy?
Yeah.
And lots of blue smoke?
Yeah, I'd say.
Does it do it whenever you start it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty normal sign. He was just showing me, that's his finger smudge from taking oil off the back bumper. You can see how dark that is. And he says it uses tons of oil, but he hasn't seen any leaks. So that's the whole reason I told him I'd come compression test it, is it sounds like it's probably... Yeah, and I don't even see that much oil under here. Yeah, I mean some normal oil on the subframe, but this doesn't look that dramatic compared to most Subarus. There's still some rust on the motor mount, so you know something can happen. Yeah, so that's why I told him it's probably burning all the oil, which is not good. I'm gonna have him start it and see how much blue smoke we get, if any. Ooh, there's a good cloud. Yo, you vape, bro? Give it a few revs. I'm getting smoked out. Yeah, so that's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I don't think I've ever seen a car smoke that much, honestly. Whew, Jesus, smells like the worst barbecue I've ever been to. Yeah, that's not good. So after it warms up, does it usually get less smoky?
Well, like once again, the higher gears are like calm down a lot.
Right, yeah.
First, second is pretty bad, and then it'll like dissipate once you get higher up there.
156,000. Is that, and it's the original engine, right?
No, this is a swap.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, he put like I think it's a Forester engine into it.
Oh, okay. It's all the same, but yeah. Gotcha. Cool. So we can probably just let it warm up because you should do a compression test warm anyway, and then we'll just whip out the plugs and test it. God, that's a lot of smoke. It's still just making clouds, man. That's pretty bad. How often do you put in oil?
If I have to drive to work, I have to put at least a quart in just to get to work.
How far away is work?
Stowe.
So like 30 miles, 25 miles?
Yeah.
So you're putting in like a quart every 50 miles?
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap, man. You're killing the trees, bro. Oh my God. You buy the box? You bought the box?
No, that's the
Oh,
thing.
I was gonna say, because you can buy it by the box, they give you a deal. Holy crap. All right, so here, give it a little bit of rev. Almost seems like it stopped a little bit now. Maybe it's just the wind. Just a little bit. Whew. It built up the smoke because of the wind and then it all rolls out. Oh my God. All right, so we're gonna let this warm up for a little bit and see if it changes. I just did this with my right hand and I'm gonna use my left, but watch this. I'll give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Watch what's on my hand. Look at that. Covered in black specks of liquid. It smudges. That's probably all oil. Here, give it some revs. Just give it a little bit of rev. Oh my God! Oh my God, bro! What the shit? I don't think your engine's too healthy, dude. It's got Subaru rumble because it's running on 3 cylinders and one that burns oil, maybe. Jesus. What the fuck? Alright, well, I mean, we're still going to compression test it, but is there really a point? Alright, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just drinking oil in the exhaust somehow. No, I'm just kidding. That's crazy. Alright, I gotta wash my hands. Thing's still just sitting here making clouds, and I figured for the story, I got a piece of paper. Alright, you ready? Just give it some good revs. Go again. It's making art. Oh man, that's so bad. That's crazy. All right. Okay, so it's all warmed up though here. Oh my God, it smokes so much. This is insane. Here, I'm gonna stand back. Give it a few.
I really have to drive my windows down.
Give it a couple revs. I'll stand way back here just to see the clouds. Rolling coal. All right. Okay, so we're gonna compression test it now. I was about to start pulling the plugs and I realized that we should run it out of fuel first. So I just disconnected this fuel pump relay down here in the passenger footwell behind the kick panel. You want to start it and then watch that coin tray. And then that should run it out of fuel pretty quickly, hopefully. No filter right now, but it'll be fine. Shouldn't die that fast. Maybe that's enough to relieve it. Okay, good. I mean, if it's mostly out of fuel, that's good enough. Also found out this is not so good, so I'm gonna try to fix that for him. But yeah, I already got the washer box out and the air box, and so pretty much ready to pull the plugs. Also gonna pull the coil pack plug just to make sure it can't spark either. Holy sh**, man.
Oh, I can see that from here.
Look at that, guys. That's got some deposits on it, don't you think? Maybe there's a little bit of oil in that cylinder. Holy sh**. Check it out. You can't even see the electrode. That's effed. This one's not as bad, but still pretty caked. That's pretty bad. Alright, we'll see what the other side is like.
It'll be cold and he's sweating.
Oh, this one wasn't even in. This wasn't even plugged in, so you were probably running on 3. I mean, it was probably arcing, but you definitely weren't getting full power to that.
That's ridiculous.
Because I didn't pull on that yet, did you?
No. Oh, it's just not even attached to the other piece of the pipe.
Yeah, see, this one's covered in oil, absolutely covered, but it doesn't look like it has as much burnt onto the thing. This is crazy. Yeah, so this one, you can see actually see the electrode absolutely soaked in oil, which could be just from pulling it out of the hole, but there's definitely kind of deposits on it too, shall we say. And this is weird. Look at this flakiness. It's melted right here. There's metal stuck to it. What is that? There's metal stuck to this. Like it's been melted. What the hell? I guess they could just be deposits. There you go, flaked off. Almost looks like it has a coppery sheen to it, but most likely just some kind of deposit of corrosion or something. That's crazy. Either way, also not good. Yeah, I'm kind of amazed this thing is even running, dude.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, God, this plug is really, really loose too. I don't know. I mean, we'll compression test it, and then we'll throw some brand new plugs in it, and I'll actually tighten them down properly, and we'll see if it makes a difference. But you know, obviously, if your cylinders are reading, 40, 50, 60 psi, we'll know this engine is dead.
Yeah.
If it's, if they're in the mid hundreds, then it's kind of a different story. Holy f***. I don't even know. This is insane, this level of buildup. Look at that.
So this thing has just blown out.
And then this electrode is almost completely gone from being burned away. And then there's this huge deposit on it. Let's see if I can keep the focus here while I do it. You see that? Like literal chunks came off in my hand. Which the deposit isn't even so worrying if it was for the fact that it has an electrode, but it doesn't. So yeah, good engine. Good job. What the hell? Oh, this one's actually clean though, underneath the boot. This one somehow got completely coated in oil, so this cylinder is definitely leaking the most oil from the valve cover gasket, it looks like. Which, like I told him a second ago, there's a lot of corrosion in this one too. If by chance these plugs weren't in enough because somebody didn't tighten them down and they're all just leaking oil into the cylinders, he could get lucky and maybe the engine's good, but we'll see. So Kane's gonna get the privilege of being the first person to actually use my compression tester. I basically bought it to test the MR2. Haven't gotten around to it yet, so this is an OTC model. This is kind of a nice one. I don't know, I think it was like $60 on sale or something like that. I'll put a link in the description if anybody has been wanting to compression test their cars, but this is supposed to be a pretty good one. Long hose, really nice, easy to read gauge, multiple types of spark plugs, and the adapters, so pretty sweet, and even some replacement parts, so that's cool. Alright, so we're gonna start with this back cylinder, I guess. And normally you would want to write down your findings and keep track of which cylinder, but we've got it all in video at least, so we can always go back and check. And these have an O-ring on them, so it just kind of has to seal. You don't want to tear the O-ring. And I do have the coil pack unplugged, and it should be basically out of fuel, so it shouldn't ignite. Alright, so he's going to try to start it. I'm going to tell him when to stop, turn it over. Is it not trying? Oh, okay, hold on. It might be the battery. Alright, so we had to mess around for a while. Car wasn't starting. I replaced the battery terminal with the factory one from his other car because it was completely jank. And then the car wouldn't start. We charged the battery, and we think it was just an issue with not having enough battery connection. So we're going to compression test it now. Well, I'd say that one made a pretty strong showing. It was only like 5 pumps, made 180, or actually 190, almost 190. So I'll look up real quick what the spec is. Cool. Took a few, but it got to over 180. Also, 180, about the same as the last one, 190 PSI. So yeah, just over 190. Yeah, I don't know why, it took a second. I almost want to do that one again. Yep, it's still fine. Reading over 190. I mean, for as much oil as we were seeing, I would imagine that we should see a cylinder that's like dead, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, we'll go, you know, no matter what, we'll put in some fresh plugs if we don't see a cylinder that's dead, and see if that makes a big difference. Yep, 190, 195 even. So that one's allegedly good. There is a thing called a leak down test, which is the more definitive version of this. I don't have a leak down tester, but like, I mean, with the amount of oil you're blowing, if it was a blown ring, I'd expect to see really low. So let's check the last cylinder. Yep, 190. All right, so like I was just telling Kane that, I mean, they all compression tested out at my focus being terrible. They all compression tested out. It was like 190, 190 plus a little bit, 195, 190, like all just over 190 after 6 cranks, you know, 5 to 6 cranks to get over 180, 190, which is pretty much perfect. That's actually high for these engines, if anything. I guess the field service manual specifies 176. It could be all the oil in the cylinders giving us a high reading, but with all the blow-by, I mean, you wouldn't think it would be that good, because you guys saw my hand. That's just nuts. So we're gonna get some plugs, torque them down properly, see if it runs better. So we forgot it's Sunday and there's nowhere to get plugs right now. So we're gonna take the plugs out of this and hope that they're like a lot nicer than that crap, and then throw those in to make sure they're tightened down, and then hopefully put some new plugs in this car at some point. But for now, that's the plan. So this is at least in much, much better shape. I still don't get why people are running copper plugs in these cars, but whatever. Alright, so we got the 4 plugs out, 2 there, 2 there. We're going to throw those in this engine and try to make sure they're nice and tight in there, and then see how it runs all put back together. So that's the plan. So just so you know that we're not complete idiots, hopefully this focuses. We're going from this crap to this, and this is one of the better plugs, and this is one of the worst plugs, so definitely an improvement, even if it's not right. And for Christ's sakes, people, use platinum plugs. Alright, we got those plugs back in. Got to plug in the fuel pump, and then we're gonna see how it runs. By the way, I do really like this compression tester. Works great, super easy, seemed to seal well, awesome gauge. So again, I'll put a link in the description for that, as well as some cheaper options for any of y'all out there who want to be able to do your own compression testing. I was needing one for a long time. MR2 is getting it soon. There's still a lot of smoke right now. You know, I told him I wouldn't bet on it being just to fix with those plugs, but there's still going to be oil in there, so who knows? We'll let it warm up again, kind of thing. It's definitely running smoother than it was, but what would you expect with those plugs? So as I told him, there's probably another issue, but it's so weird that it gets 190 on the compression on every cylinder and blows this much. So I was looking online, and it says it can be a dropped valve guide, although they say that's like almost never happens on Subarus. Other than that, not really sure what it would be. But either way, at least it's going to run better for him right now. So I'll have to do some research. To any of you folks watching, like, let us know what you think. If you have more experience with compression testing and blowing smoke than me, if you think I should do a leak down test. I don't have a leak down tester. I could buy one. They're kind of expensive. But yeah, so not 100% sure what's wrong with it. Swapping the engine from this car would be a little extra work because it's a different throttle body and intake. It's got the plastic intake manifold and the non-quick disconnect fuel lines, the map sensor, and the different airbox. So, you know, it'd be a little bit of work. Yeah, so I'll probably do some research. Please let me know what you guys think. If you think it's still just bad rings or something like that. But just to me, so weird that it would pass the compression test that well. New plugs are definitely helping it run better and maybe burning the oil more efficiently because we're not getting the same spit on the hand. See, nothing there this time. But definitely still burning oil somewhere. So we'll have to figure it out. So Kane just found on the side of this engine, it says 05 good, and he says good my ass. Just to add to the mystery and maybe helping diagnose it a little bit, there is a knocking noise coming. It sounds like from this side of the engine, like it's from maybe the rotating assembly. I hope you can hear that. It's kind of like a and I tried to use a screwdriver stethoscope, and it sounds like it's maybe one of these two cylinders. Almost could be like, you know, piston slap, a cracked ringland or something. I don't think it's rod knock, but I don't know. So maybe that'll add to it. You know, I've heard that if you have a cracked ringland, you can still pass a compression test, but be throwing oil in. Could be something like that. The naturally aspirated engines are not known for ringland failure at all. That's almost exclusively the STI engine, but here it's getting a little louder. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Another quick interesting discovery. that car was running 2 NGKs and 2 Densos, and they actually are platinum plugs, just completely wrecked by the oil, basically, I guess. So, like, there's definitely an issue, it seems like, with all 4 cylinders, which is really weird. Really, really weird. I don't know. Alright, so I got them all back together, plugs in, and air filter boxes, and washer tanks and everything. You want to try to start this one real quick? Just to see what this sounds like. It's got the crap plugs in it now, and the crappier battery connector. Sounds like a Subaru. But this one doesn't blow all sorts of blue smoke. A little bit of condensation probably, but... So I'm going to have him start this one more time just to do the kind of like oil spout test. Ooh, that was a loud knock. Almost wonder if that's your motor mount. Could just be the motor mount knocking. But anyway, so I'm going to see if air comes out of this. Want to rev it a little? There's definitely air coming out, but it almost feels like it's sucking it in. Oh no, there you go. If I go like that, I feel it pushing out. Holy shit. This thing is blowing. Oh, it just got in my eye. Here, watch this. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Alright, rev it. See, that's blowing that right out. That looks crazy on camera. But yeah, it's blowing this thing. So with that much air going by, you would think it's got to be the rings, right? How can it compression test at 190 on every cylinder if it's doing that? Same thing right here. Much lighter though. That's crazy. Rev it a little. Rev it again. So it actually stops blowing air out when you rev it. So help us out, guys. Let us know for sure what that is. Compression tests at 190 on every cylinder warm, but blows air like crazy out of the oil, blows smoke like nobody's business. Rev it again. I was gonna say maybe it blows less smoke when that's open, but it doesn't really look like it. Jesus. So let us know what y'all think in the comments. Alright, well I'm gonna get out of here. Unfortunately we didn't get a definitive answer for Kane, but hopefully in the future we'll figure out what's going on. Kane, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
So sorry I couldn't be more help, but at least we tried.
Nah, even that was great.
So and now you know a little bit more about taking it apart or whatever. Apparently this is the neighborhood cat. No love. No love for me. Doesn't care. Oh.
Blooded bobble.
You got this. I'll catch you later, man.
Alright, have a great day, dude.
Wow. Alright, folks. I made it home just after 8 o'clock. Garage is still here waiting for me. You can see that's the pile of boxes that I will be unboxing for y'all very soon. Last few things should be coming in tomorrow, other than a couple things which I won't wait for. Hope you all enjoyed this one. I'm really enjoying going out meeting subscribers. Hope to meet a lot more of you. If I have the car meet on the 12th of August, I'm going to make the Facebook event for that very soon. I'm sad that I didn't get a better official diagnosis for Kane, but I'm pretty sure that motor's no good. Again, please let me know what you think in the comments. Really appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you soon on 802 Garage. Goodbye. If y'all haven't heard of or had Moxie before, you should try it. It's bottled in New Hampshire, but it's the state drink of Maine, funny enough. And they even tried to change the logo for a while to like this weird swirly thing to be like politically correct. And everybody's like, oh, hell nah. So they brought back the Moxie Man. Look at this suave mofo. He wants you to drink Moxie. Yeah, my mom always used to say it tastes like motor oil soda. But yeah, I love it. It's acquired taste.